Blog Talk Radio.
Do you ever stop to wonder if people really knew the truth about what was going on in the world, if they would be any different? Because quite frankly, normal abandoned me a long time ago. My name Dakota Frandsen. I am the specialist of the strange and fucked up. You'll never see the world the same way once you stick with me. Nothing is off limits. And you'll never know what world I'll be coming from for each episode. Listen in. And wait for your world to be changed forever.
Happy Halloween, everybody!
I am Dakota Frandsen, the one, the only specialist of the strange, and you are listening in to a one-of-a-kind special broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are having fun this week and staying safe as the ghosts and ghouls wander the streets. And an occasional Iron Man, but that's another case altogether. I am introducing a brand new session called Strange Truth. And it is where I look at the special paranormal incident and analyze it to see whether or not it is real. And I thought, seeing that it is Halloween tomorrow, All Hallows Eve, it would be a perfect place to start. Now, Dakota, what you're saying, Halloween is real. We already noticed. Talking about the stories behind Halloween, about the dead actually coming back to the world and the living and spooky us all. Truth behind it. How can such a day when little kitties are running the streets looking for candy and dressed up like a bunch of freaks? How did this begin? Where did the origins of such a spooky holiday begin? So roughly, scholars believe the situation started roughly 2,000 years ago in Celtic regions, Ireland, UK, and northern France. But before I go into that news, into the subject for tonight, we have the news, my friends. Those of you who follow my movie studio, Legion M, have seen, or who have seen or want to see our latest hit, Mandy, starring Nicolas Cage. It is out on Blu-ray. You live the gore, the guts, the heartbreak of Mandy, as Nicolas Cage gives us perhaps one of his best performances yet. Comes up. It is out on Blu-ray today, my friends. Get yourself a copy if you already have not. Or if you're like me, or you took advantage of the special early digital release on iTunes and Vudu, that's cool too. That's cool too. It is a movie that you would never believe. It's creepier than fuck. I love it. Brutality, the blood. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the origin of Halloween. This is also an opportunity. So, how does this new segment work? Well, I pick a certain subject deemed paranormal. I talk about it, I analyze it, and see and give my thoughts on whether or not it is real. Now, in the case of Halloween, of course we know it's real. But I'm talking about the stories of the ghosts and goblins and monsters and demons rising from the depths of the underworld. Is there any truth to this? Many pagan cultures often cite this time of year as when the veil between life and death, and that is what allows the spirits to come out and play. So we go around just in funky costumes to scare them all to back away. Not always the case. Now, for fans of the show Supernatural, I'm going to break your heart. Samhain is no demon. The earliest that historians and scholars have been able to trace the origins of Halloween was roughly 2,000 years ago during a festival known as Samhain. And it is not a demon. Roughly translated in the Gaelic language, Samhain simply means summer's end. Or, because the records back then are kind of basically fragmented, we don't exactly know what the fuck was going on that far back. There's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of debate. But usually, agreed definition of Samhain is simply the end of the summer, the beginning of the harvest of winter. And it was due to this time, the rising of the dead, that the Celtics believed this was the time that the spirits walk among us. But the show is live, so mistakes like that are going to happen. Samhain was actually considered basically New Year's Eve back then. And it was a large festival, and just before the end of the year, the belief was the spirits would come back. The spirits would be able to cross back and forth between the worlds of the dead and the world of the living. We got these ideas from crops dying, electric mischief going on. There's also this time druids, Celtic priests, believed that one could actually look into the future of one another. And so during this time, they would sacrifice crops and animals to the Celtic gods and dressed up in animal hides in an attempt to tell each other's fortunes. It was believed that these fortunes, in a time when the world depended on natural resources, in a time where we did not have heaters and air conditioners and stable roofs over our heads, where we were reliant on nature and not trying to create something entirely new while killing our planet. But here is the thing. There's a lot of debate on whether or not Samhain is actually associated with the dead. There's no real connection other than the timing that draws it to Halloween. But we also believe a few different things came around. We also believe All Saints Day, which was typically celebrated on November 1st or the beginning of the new year, also had an influence. Trick-or-treating, they believe, started or was inspired of mumming or guising. And people would go around dressed up in homemade costumes, obviously, when door to door to ask for food. It is also believed that a medieval custom of souling, which is essentially the same thing. People go around asking for food in exchange for the prayers. Many cultures associated this time of year with and it's not hard to see if you look at it from a poetic perspective. In fact, that's how many of myths and legends start. Simply poetic comparisons. Or at least that's what they believe. Of course, obviously, have existed for many, many years. It is often quoted through various sources, but it is always around this time. And to this very day, many law enforcement agencies don't care for Halloween because of how many asshole children go out and fuck shit up. That is the truth. And there is always a sort of evolution. That happens with these events. By roughly the year 43 AD, the Roman Empire added their influences as they took over Catholic territories. It is believed that at least two different festivals were essentially combined due to the similarities of Samhain. The first one, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this correctly, Speralia, a day in late October that was associated with the passing of the dead. The second was a day to honor the Rosanganas of Mona trees. The symbol was the apple. They believe that is how the idea for popping for apples became a part of Halloween. What are you doing? No, you both shut the fuck up, you fucking motherfucking. Sorry, my notes are playing ads, and they shouldn't be. Kind of pissing me off. Yes, I took notes, and I probably should have put it in the episode description, but the fucking thing was giving me problems. Anyway, what was going on? Right. Fast forward to the year of 603. Fast forward to the year 609 AD, specifically on May 13th. Pope Boniface IV dedicated the Pantheon in Rome in honor of all Christian martyrs. Catholic Feast of All Martyrs Day was established in the church. It was Pope Gregory III that eventually moved this celebration from May 13th to November 1st. Christianity, of course, also had their influences. And for over time, people just said, fuck it, let's mix it all together. In the year 1000 AD, the day of November 2nd was referred to as All Souls Day. Of course, it is quoted by many sources that as Christianity became a more mainstream religion, it tried its best to create festivals, center their new holidays around older pagan traditions in order to convince pagan followers to convert. Now, historically speaking, we all know what happened. Witch hunt! Witch hunt! Witch hunt! It's crazy. But all in all, easy to say that. Fuck, what's wrong with and I'm running out of time. My God damn it. Oh, I'm so scatterbrained. My original notes for the show got fucking messed up in a technical glitch, so work with me, my friend. And of course, other forms of traditions, methods of fortune telling, and some sources also claim, and this was something I found interesting, that apples being associated with potential marriage. And the word it was that the first person to pluck an apple from a water-filled bucket without their hands would be the first person to get married. It was also said that young women would peel an apple into one long continuous strip, throw it over their shoulder. And however that apple skin would land, they believed it would form the first letter of their future husband's name. Isn't that so sweet? And even Bloody Mary was said to have origins in these apple games, as it was believed the whole ritual of staring in a mirror at midnight is by simple candlelight was said to also help reveal a future lover's face. So, all you ladies complaining about being single for the holidays, here's your chance. Of course, it was merely meant for fun, but a lot of people take it seriously. But how? For one thing, one has to wonder how easy that honoring the dead can become an evil tradition. Evil. Right. Because of the efforts to convert pagans into Christianity, many were demonized, which is actually where the term came from, by the church. And associated pagan rituals with satanic magic. But anybody that actually researches this stuff, none of it actually has any ties to satanic magic. Or not even a faint fucking resemblance. And that is one thing I've never understood. Is how is it that all these early traditions became evil? We need to look into this better. But the Halloween origins always been about honoring the dead. And simply because this is when winter started. Of course, having traveled to these regions myself, see where the ideas came from. Where I live, in the southern Idaho region, we have basically, we know, usually, but I can't fucking form words tonight. My God, I am so sorry. Where I live, we actually have a thing, basically, where you always expect snow around the week of Halloween. Having gone from this area to over there, the climates aren't that much different. So it's easy to associate. There's almost a poetic sense when you really think about it, associated with the end of one's life. The winter, the coldness of the grip of death. Quite frankly, it seems like a lot of shit tends to go down this time of year. So maybe they were onto something. So that is a brief history of the origins of Halloween. Though many of the original rituals have been twisted and sort of lost over time, it's always been about honoring the spirits. Tomorrow, we're going to go more into detail on whether or not they were right to provide science, or at least speculation, on how it all can begin, on how it all actually happened.
So when you really look at things, many festivals and many early texts almost had a poetic sense to them. Do you possibly have better chances with the dead? Maybe. You want to try some methods? You might want to tune in tomorrow. Because I'm going to say that's all we have for today. Sure to tune in tomorrow, where I give my in-depth look on the rituals and the beliefs that are around this time of year. Because some even say dead rising to a single day, but rather all week. So tune in tomorrow to hear more. Be sure to check out my friends at fun.com to get yourself some awesome gifts for your loved ones, or maybe even something for yourself just in time for Christmas. Yes, I would like to get past Thanksgiving first, but let's face it, we got to prepare for Christmas, otherwise lots of people tend to wait last minute for this type of shit. Also, if you're on Facebook, be sure to head over to my page. The link is in the bio. Give it a like. We need to boost up numbers there, my friends, to get all sorts of updates on when you can get it. Or you can find me on almost any other social network. A link to where you can find all my official accounts, stores I help manage, and partners is also in the description. I shall see you guys tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed. Have fun and stay safe.